Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns on liquid air on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. We bring it with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, good folks? What's going on, my peoples? Welcome to the show. It has been a good little minute since I could just have the Pro Fan Talk podcast talking about everything, because the WNBA has been hot and heavy, man. They've been hot and heavy. Never would have thought that was going to happen for me, but hey, I'm following the algorithm, and that's the way it rolls. But no games tonight. So I got a chance to look up some content, follow what's going on with the Eagles a little bit, look around the league. I wanted to talk about some Philly stuff tonight too, but just didn't get a chance to create some notes for that. So, but we got enough on the docket tonight. So, uh-oh.
Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns on liquid air on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's going on, good people? Welcome to the Pro Fan Talk. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since Pro Fan Talk was on the scene, and we could just chill and hit the trending topics, because the WNBA has been hot and heavy. You guys been rocking with me. You already know what I've been doing on the WNBA side. I've been covering all the Indiana games. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Jewel Lloyd, Kalia Copper, everybody. Cam Brink, Rakea Jackson, all of them, man. All of them. So appreciate you guys in the building already. Illuminati was first out the limo, and Cody K. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, Kevin the PRF. Kevin already laying down some groundwork. Like, listen, man, don't come in here disrespecting my Eagles, dog. Don't do that. You're going to be the Skip Bayless of this chat. And you don't want to say you Skip Bayless, man. That means ain't nobody listening. Because Skip is sinking fast. So Keyshawn can't help him. You know what I'm saying? So, but it is all good, man. A lot of stuff. We got I was trying to get some Phillies talk in, man. Couldn't get my notes together. Been moving kind of fast, man. But it's fun just to chill out. No WNBA games tonight. And I was thinking, man, last year at this time, never in a million years would I have thought my channel would have kind of veered in that direction with so much WNBA coverage. And I don't mind it. Don't get it twisted. I do not mind it, because that's where everything is at. And you just keep it moving, man. And I've been watching it. I've been invested in it, paying attention to it, know the names, supporting the league. And it's been fun to watch. But also on the flip side of that, I've been keeping track of what's going on here in Philadelphia. The Eagles are still a hot topic. Now the Sixers just had a good draft. They're the hot topic. The Phillies are in first place. We are 3 for 4 right now. 3 for 4 of the major sports are on and popping right now. What's up, Cody K? So that's a good problem to have. 3 out of 4. And I would be okay saying that the Flyers are on the rise. Right now, they're taking their lumps. But they're going in the right direction. So it's good to say right now for Philly, you are 3 for 4. Eagles, Phillies, Sixers are all top of the heap right now. That's a good place to be. So we'll see how that pans out going forward, man. But before we go any further, I wanted to get into this real quick. Had a little somber news this weekend. The whole situation with Kyrie Jackson. That was a tough one, man. That was a tough one. Young kid, rookie coming out, and got in a car crash. Wasn't his fault. The other person was speeding, drunk, not sure what the situation it is, but the other driver was driving erratically, clipped them on the highway and made them veer off the road, ran off, hit a couple of tree stumps and some trees, and took the life of him and two of his high school teammates. So it's a damn shame, man. And like, dude, anybody in the fraternity, man, when you in that NFL fraternity, man, when stuff like this happens, man, it hurts everybody. It hurts everybody, whether it's a car wreck, whether it's CTE, whether it's cancer, or whatever the situation is, man. You just saw when Larry Allen passed away. That was sudden. That was unexpected. Now you got this kid. And so it's always something, man. So I always like to take the time to tell people, man, tell your people you love them while you're here. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to somebody you ain't talked to in a while, one of your friends from college, one of your boys from high school, one of your girls, whoever. Reach out, say what's up, make sure everybody good, and tell your people you love them while you're here. So, but, so yeah, man, it's makes you keep it going, makes you gives you perspective. But real quick, as you guys know, if you've been seeing me on social media and everything, this is my birthday week. My birthday is this Friday, July 12th. My sister and I, my twin sister and I, will be 54 years young. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I don't smoke, by the way. But we will be 54 years young. So I always tell people, if you want to get me something, you got to get me two, because I am a twin. But what I'm asking for people, please, share my podcast, share my YouTube channel, and have people subscribe. That's what I want for my birthday. Still trying to grind and grow. I love what I'm doing, man, and I'm appreciating it. Thank you, Cody K. 38. Way past that, man. Way past that, bro. So, but I appreciate you guys, man. I've got some people coming on this week. Let me see. Let me check my schedule. I got let me see. I meant to create a Instagram reel to announce all of the schedule for this week. But Wednesday at 8 p.m., same time, same bat channel. Wednesday at 8 p.m., my guy Barrett Brooks is going to be on with me. Philadelphia Eagle, offensive lineman, Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl champion. He's on NBC Sports in Philadelphia. My guy Barrett Brooks, he will be on the podcast with me. We're going to be going over some stuff. Breaking it up, chatting it up, busting it up, So we'll have some fun. And on Thursday at 8, my buddy Scott Teller is going to be on with me. Scott is a friend of mine that I met way back when I was in Eagles camp. And his dad was teaching martial arts to a couple of the players. And I met Scott through one of my really good friends, Willie T. And Been friends with him for a long time. His birthday is July 12th as well. So he's going to come on the podcast. Scott has been in a couple of movies. He's doing the acting bug. He had a couple small parts. He's been in, I can't remember. I think he had a very small part I believe it was the last Creed movie. He had a part, it ended up getting cut out. He had a part in the Adam Sandler basketball movie. I forget what the name of it was when they filmed that up in New York. So he's been doing some things. You can look at his IMDb and he's getting filling up that filmography. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good friend of mine. He'll be on and we're going to talk. We're going to chop it up and have some fun on Thursday. I'm working on to see if I can get anybody for tomorrow. And I'm working on, I got to figure out what my wife's going to do for Friday. I don't know if I'm looking to do anything. I might order a pizza, something. Usually on my birthday, I like to barbecue. That's what I like to do. This is what I like to do in my free time. I'm going to show you right here. This is what I like to do in my free time. Smoke brisket. Look at that. I don't play around. I don't mess around. That's what I like to do in my free time. Fire up my smoker. I got a Masterbuilt 1050. I got a big 120-gallon offset smoke or reverse flow smoker. So that's what I love to do, man. So, but probably not going to be doing that. Probably either order something to eat. I just like to chill, man. Chill with the wife, see what she wants to do. I'm definitely going to be streaming. So I think I'm going to be going 8 o'clock all week. So Pro Fan Talk, whether it's a game. And you know what? I'm probably not going to be able to do some of the WNBA games this week because the games are at like 1 in the afternoon this week. So I think this is the last full week, I believe, before the Olympic break. And then you got like almost 4 weeks off. That's something we're going to get into a little bit later on when we get into the WNBA. I'm going to hit the Eagles talk first. But one of the things I do want to get into is this long break and what it means for these teams. It's one thing to get a couple days off or a week off. But when you're talking about 4 weeks, your blade can get dull in that time. So we'll see what's going to happen. Stats are a little low, but we growing. I got everybody on X right now. Everybody's listening on Twitter. If you are on Twitter, come on into Facebook. Not Facebook. Come on into YouTube. Join me on YouTube. Join the live chat, and let's get it on and popping. I appreciate you, but I would love you more if you was on YouTube. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. But let me see. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Talked about Kyrie. Oh, so doesn't matter if you're talking about NFL, doesn't matter if you are talking about MLB, NBA, everybody in this, and I have to lump myself in this category because I am part of social media, but media and social media, everybody is getting these crazy takes. Everybody is popping off these crazy takes, and sometimes it makes no sense. And the social media aspect is driving the terrestrial radio now. You listen to any sports talk radio in any city, they are actively doing stuff on Twitter, checking their Instagram, have live updates, breaking news comes off their Twitter feeds, everything like that, man. So it's interesting how this transition has happened, and now that this train is rolling, it's probably not going to stop. Social media, Twitter is probably the de facto source of information now. If you get breaking news from Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport, it's coming off their Twitter feed because that's the fastest way to do it. So social media is running, or terrestrial media is now dependent on social media. You can't run a radio station if you're not on social media. It's not going to work anymore. That dynamic has changed and it'll never go back. It'll go forward because eventually something's going to happen with social media. I don't know what it is, but it's going to evolve into something else, whatever that thing is. It's going to evolve. So we just here for the ride. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kevin, 8 more days of the WNBA, man. So we're going to talk about the rookie of the year race. That's been very interesting. But thank you for the birthday wishes, bro. Cody K, I appreciate you. What's up, Chris? But yeah, man. Everybody's got these bad media takes. And it's most of the time it's people on the outside looking in. They're not from Philadelphia, they're not from New York, or whatever team we're talking about. Philadelphia, we're on the hot spot. Obviously, being a former Eagle, I'm going to talk about the Birds first. But I could also talk about my Cincinnati Bengals, or you can go up to the Meadowlands and talk about the Jets. Everybody's got these weird takes, and it's almost like you have no back and forth anymore. There's no more conversation. Everybody wants to be right, period. That's it. Everybody's putting information out, and the more this goes on, the more the social media train continues to accelerate, the less and less people will verify information. Just doesn't happen. They take whatever they see as gospel and they run with it. And time again, everybody starts spouting off wrong information. Hell, even in the presidential debate, wasn't nobody fact checking. And there was a big to-do about that. So, yeah, Chris, they're bad these days, man. You still got some people that are willing to have a conversation. Because a lot of these situations, a lot of these topics and hot takes, they're very nuanced. It's not a yes-no answer. There is a lot of gray area, but nobody wants to talk about the gray. Nobody wants to get into the weeds because, God forbid, they might find that they were wrong and they might have to switch sides, and nobody wants to do that. Nobody's willing to take that L. Chris, 100%, bro. 100%. It's all about who's first. It's all about who's first. They'll ask for forgiveness instead of permission because it's easier to put something out there. It gets found out that it was wrong. Then everybody jumps on you, tells you how wrong you were. Then you issue an apology and then you keep it moving. Meanwhile, while you put out that wrong information, everybody jumped on it because you got it out first, to your point, Chris. Then everybody came back around to get with you because it was wrong. So even though they ripping you now, you still getting the clicks, you still getting the traffic. Everybody double back. So that's a win-win for you. So even when you lose, you win. Because you're still getting that traffic. Then you put out an apology, and then they triple back. They come back around for a third piece and tell you they don't care, tell you how bad you are, and go and pull up receipts on what you said a year ago or 3 years ago or something like that, because everybody got receipts now. But in that whole process, you got people that came back around 3 and 4 times. And the only thing that's more appealing on social media, the thing that's more appealing than being correct is telling somebody they're wrong. And being able to say, see, I told you so. See, I said it on this day. I knew he was BSing. I knew he was talking shit. That's what everybody wants to do. I said this before. Social media has turned into the manifestation of your mother telling you if your friends jumped off a bridge, you gonna jump too? That's what social media is. That is the manifestation of social media. All that's a lot of that stuff, the advice your parents used to give you so you wouldn't get bullied or give in to peer pressure. All of that stuff that they used to talk about has manifested in social media. That everybody's trying to do the thing that everybody else is doing. Now you got people can talk greasy on players and pro players and make up anything. And it's up to the player to figure his way out of it. And now, mind you, this ain't just Philly media. This ain't just the New York, the East Coast market. This is across the board. This is across the board. This is worldwide in actuality. Now, obviously, we do different things in the States, and just from the culture, they might operate a little bit different in places overseas in Europe and things of that nature. But for the most part, social media is social media. They want to put stuff out there. What was the guy, the soccer player over in Brazil, Europe, wherever he was, where come to find out he divorced his wife and she tried to take all his money and he ain't had none because he gave all his money to his mother. And he was living off the mother. He gave all like 60% of his salary to his mom. So when the girlfriend came to take all he had, he ain't have much. That was checkmate in my book. But that's social media, man. Everybody trying to get a step ahead. I remember when that happened, when that aspect of social media, and when it turned real grimy real quick. And it was, I believe it was Julian Edelman when he was with the Patriots and he was overseas. He was single, not married, doing his thing overseas because he a pro player. He got money and doing his thing and hooked up with some chick over there. Or I don't know if she was from the States that he brought her over there, whatever the situation was. He was with some girl and, they doing what grown folks do. And he was sleeping in the bed and she took a picture of it and put it on her, what was it, MySpace at the time or whatever it was, posted a picture and let everybody know she was with him. And I said, wow. And that's what started this avalanche of all of this grimy shit that happens with social media. And I try to tell people all the time, because I've always been attuned to technology. I've always been that way. I've been in the computers way back with the Apple IIc days, the Apple II days. I'm old enough to remember when a Mac computer sat 2 feet off the desk and could only do one thing. I'm back in the day when you had to go to a computer store and you had to buy the games on floppy disk. They used to have them on the rack. And if it was an independent game, it was a local game designer that lived in your city that designed the game, made the copies himself on floppy disk, and brought them to the store to sell, and would put them in Ziploc bags and hang them on the rack, poke a little hole in it and hang it on the rack. He would print out the instructions, a little picture of the game, all of that kind of stuff was in like a little Ziploc sandwich bag, and they would sell them as independent. The store would buy them from the dude, and if he sold out, he would make some more copies. And that's how they did it back then. I go back that far. I'm before Atari. I'm Magnavox, bro. And I'm saying all that to say I've been on this technology journey from the very start, and it is crazy what they can do now. Even now, sometimes on my post, you guys may have seen it. Some of my videos, I am actively leaving, public service announcements, PSAs, like, hey, this is what you're looking for. If you got to watch out for the AI streams. Because that's the one thing I noticed. And the only reason I'm saying that is because that's direct competition with me. I've used AI before. My theme song, my theme music, that's AI. And I'm okay with that. But if you use an AI to do everything, all you got to do is type in, you get the computer voice to read the narration. It's all a bunch of B-roll footage that AI produces. So there's no real life creativity. And I'm good enough to be able to listen to it, pick it out, or look at it and say, yeah, that's AI. And I'm like, hey, if you want to talk to somebody, you want to talk to a real person, you want to talk to a real person, tangible person, come check me out. I am not AI. That's going to be a rallying cry going forward. Who is AI and who's not? Are you talking to somebody real? Or are you talking to Skynet? And it's funny to say that some people might not even get that reference. That's getting old too. Oh, damn. You used to play Avatar, Hard Hat Mac. I remember them games, man. Absolutely, bro. 3 o'clock in the morning. I remember them days. You could still hook it up to the old the RGB port that you would plug in on the back of your television. You had to screw it in. Had the two little things look like little Y things. You would screw it into the screw on the back of the TV. But yeah, man, it's kind of crazy, man. So got off on a rant, but all this comes back to whether it's AI, whether it's people not vetting their information, just putting stuff out there because they can put all of this shit out there in the universe with impunity. Nobody's checking them on it. And by the time somebody does finally check it on them, it's moved on to something else. So let me see. I got a good example. It was this guy, I believe his name was Chris Carlin. And he was talking about Jalen Hurts. And I was like, and it was on that same tip about, Jalen Hurts' personality. It was trouble in the locker room. Here it is. Check this out. I worked in Philadelphia. I know the town pretty well, which means he's not here no more. There were some things going on there with Jalen Hurts in that locker room in terms of guys not loving how he handled himself after they went to the Super Bowl and after he got paid. There are some fences for Jalen Hurts to mend in that locker room. The talent level is fantastic. I worry about that being a situation that can blow up at any moment. And I think if it does, it's going to get ugly. And I'm like, clearly you wasn't paying attention. Because they tried to do that at the end of last season, and it was proven to be bullshit. They talked all of that stuff about Jalen not talking enough, not being demonstrative enough. And immediately I was like, nope. I make a common joke, and I say, I need to do a documentary on who is sources. Some of you guys have probably heard me say that before. I need to do a documentary and find out who is sources, because sources tell you everything. Sources close to the team, sources close to the situation, but you can never get any names. And 9 times out of 10, sources give you some bullshit information. Because the day after that, the guy stepped up and said, I've never had a problem with Jalen Hurts. And immediately when I said that, when everybody was talking about his personality issues, he doesn't do this enough, he doesn't talk enough. And I was like, the last thing you want is your quarterback to be fake. If your quarterback is not a rah-rah guy, or take the quarterback out of it, is if anybody on your team. And now I got to look at, if you guys in the chat, if you've ever been on a team before, little league, high school, college, professional, whatever. If you've ever been on a team before, you already know by the end of camp, by the end of whatever your training period is, you know who is real on that team and who's about some bullshit. You already know that. And 9.9 times out of 10, whoever the captain of your team is not going to be about that bullshit. The captain of your team has got to be real. And if he's not a rah-rah guy, if he's a quiet type that does this talking on the field, so be it. Jalen Hurts is not that dude. That same quiet, reserved, stoic dude that gave the shittiest press conferences and dry as dry toast answers was the same dude that took us to the Super Bowl. Why you want to change now? And the only reason people are bringing it up is because they ain't got nothing to write about. The hell with that, man. Everybody just wants a story. And props to Jalen Hurts. Let's keep the main thing the main thing. And he hasn't deviated one iota from who he is. He's boisterous enough. When he comes out of that tunnel and is hopping around, getting fired up, and he talks to the team, that's when you need your leader to be vocal. Not in the press, not all the times in practice. Usually the loudest guy is usually the guy that's screwing up the most. The loudest guy is usually the one screwing up the most. I learned that very quickly when I was in the Eagles camp. There was always some guys that are always chirping. There's always a guy that's always starting fights. And the only reason they do that is because I got to get noticed. I got to make some, because the rule is if ain't nobody talking to you, that's not necessarily a good thing. If they talking to you, they noticing you, but there's a way to do that. You can't do that by always starting fights. You can't do that by always being the loudest. Because at some point in time, somebody gonna tell you to shut the hell up. Because it don't mean nothing. It ain't real, and it is very easy to figure those people out. That they are very obvious, and usually they are not the leaders of the team. So, yeah, man, off that one presser. And then everybody goes back to what they thought it was last season. And it's like, you can't do that. If I can't look at last year and say, okay, Jalen Hurts scored this many touchdowns, so I can expect him to be that much better this year. Somebody would say, well, that was last year. That don't count anymore. Going forward, it don't matter what you did last year. 100%. Absolutely right. But the media wants to bring up shit that happened last year off the field, and they can bring all of that stuff up. And that's what I mean when they can do that stuff with impunity. Kevin, I did play with Bill Romanowski. I was in camp with him. I got cut that year. I got cut. He came in 94, I believe. I'm going to look that up. Hold on. I believe he came in 94. I didn't like him then before all of the spit and controversy. So, let me see. Nope. Going through bankruptcy, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. Romanowski stats. Yeah, I think he was on them roids back in the day. Don't quote me. Yeah. He was with the Eagles in 94 and 95. So I was in camp with him in 94. So yeah. But like I said, I wasn't, Seth was our leader. You know what I mean? Seth and Clyde and Byron Evans, Eric Allen, those were our leaders. So, but man, listen, you knew who the leaders on that team were. Without a doubt, Seth Joyner, Byron Evans, Clyde Simmons, Eric Allen. Those were the de facto leaders on offense. It was Herschel Walker and Randall Cunningham. Those were our leaders. And then, of course, you had Freddie Barnett. So, Seth was one of those guys that could throw you a look and you knew you screwed up. Had that type of power. Vi Sikahema was on there. He was another leader, but he was a special teams guy. He was kind of at the end of his career. But he was still a presence in the locker room. Vi is still one of my good friends to this day. William Thomas, Willie T, best man at my wedding. Still tight to this day. You know who the good people are in your locker room. I don't need my quarterback to all of a sudden be super rah-rah and all of a sudden he getting in people's faces and doing all. Nah. You do what got you here. You do what got you here. Don't change up because the media wants you to do that. That's bullshit. So when I see stuff like when I see stuff like that, Chris Carlin, when did he work in Philly? And when he was working in Philly, you mean to tell me you had connections with somebody that was directly into that conversation because everybody got that wrong. Everybody got that wrong. Sometimes you lose games because the guys on the field suck. Sometimes that's why you lose games. The people on the other side of the ball get paid too. Yeah, man. Vi's my guy, man. I love Vi. Love that dude. And Vi was there when I lived in St. Louis I lived in St. Louis from 78 to 84. So I think I was in St. Louis like when Vi was there, like maybe 1 year, I think. Because I think he played with O.J. Anderson. That's when O.J. Anderson I'm going way back. So, and this was before I moved back home to Cincinnati. So, but yeah, Vi was the joker in the locker room, man. Vi was the guy. We had a phone in the locker room, and every now and then the phone would ring, and it would be somebody at the front office, somebody at the GM's office. And whoever was closest would answer the phone and say, hey, put somebody on the phone. And it's like, hey, we need you to come up here. And usually if you had to go upstairs, it was because you had to sign a contract. It was some business you had to take care of. So Vi used to answer the phone and would put like the cream of G6, the gel and stuff on there. So whoever answered the phone would, do like that. And he got a face full of crap on his, Vi was the jokester, man. He was a jokester. But guys like this, man, they not here. They're not in Philly. And just because you worked in Philly doesn't mean you close to the situation. You don't know what the hell's going on. The people that are in Philadelphia that were tied to the situation didn't know what the hell was going on. They talk like they do, but they don't. Everybody's guessing. Everybody's guessing. And nobody knew what the deal was. Nobody knew what to make when A.J. Brown called WIP that one time. They weren't expecting that, but he was like, yeah, let's put it all on the table. And ain't what you thought. And even him coming on the radio, people still didn't believe him. It's like, hey, it ain't my job to convince you. So you get stuff like that all the time, man. People want to talk greasy because you have there's no recourse. You know what I'm saying? When I played, the people that was writing these stories had to come see you in the locker room, face to face. Wasn't social media. You couldn't fax it. The person that wrote a story literally wrote the story. They don't even do that no more. They come up with a concept, let AI fill in the blanks. But if you wrote a story back in the 90s, you were a beat reporter. So you were at every practice, every game, and you sitting at a locker room with a tape recorder in somebody's face. And then you go back, rewind it, listen to it, write your story. It would be in the paper the next day. And then you had to be back at practice on Tuesday or on Wednesday. Back in the locker room to get another soundbite. And if the player didn't like the story you wrote, they had the opportunity to question you. You had to see that guy face to face. So at least you had that measure of respect because you wrote that story knowing that you had to go back in that locker room and look that person in the eye. And sometimes them conversations weren't very nice. They can't do that these days. Y'all, it sounds like, I'm not even going to say what I want to say. It sounds very weak sauce. When you get mad at somebody, you get mad at your team, and then you block them on Twitter. What the hell? I'm mad at my team, so I'm scrubbing them off my social media. And if you don't go sit down somewhere with that nonsense, you can't even handle situations like adults anymore. I'm going to take my crayons in the house because I don't want you coloring with them. That's some bullshit. Get on the phone with whoever you need to talk to and handle it. Hash it out. They don't do that no more. You got too much noise coming in. Once again, you got people on social media, they get to operate with impunity. They ain't got nobody to check them. Ain't no checks and balances. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Move on down here real quick. I saw this a couple days ago. Where'd it go? Hold on. Let me see. Oh, there I be. Oh, by the way, I was trying to get her to come on with me for Friday, but just wanted to shout out. That's my twin sis, Melanie. That's when my nephew graduated from Georgia Tech. He's in the Air Force now. He's flying planes. But that's my twin sis. What was I saying? Oh. Let me find that. Did y'all see the first episode of Hard Knocks? I was like, wow. Where'd it go? I know I got it in here. There we go.
And trading him, I don't think is realistic.
Did y'all see that first episode? Did y'all see this? And I brought this up because I can play a little snippet. Can't let it go too long, though.
Are we positive that nobody's going to pay him that kind of money? Like, there's nobody that was another free agents, receivers that they're going back to their team at $20 million. I mean, who would you say?
Yeah, man.
Right back to that dollar amount. Teammates, anyone that has money to spend. There's a lot of running backs in free agency. Yeah.
I listening to that whole conversation, man. The NFL stands for not for long. It is a cutthroat business. It is not fair. It is not very nice. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. And I say that because two situations happened this week. That was one. And you see all of that. You gotta play with the timeline a little bit. Because after seeing that, because you got to realize this happened before we signed Saquon Barkley. So now you can see the man behind the curtain a little bit. And I'm looking at it as a former player, when you do everything right, everything, and they still usher you out the door. You did everything right. I played, my rookie year was 93. Reggie White was gone in 91. But people still talked about him because everybody was still friends. Jerome Brown had just passed away right before I came to camp. So that was still fresh on everybody's mind. But arguably the greatest defensive tackle of all time, Reggie White. Philadelphia let him walk out the door. And if anybody was the poster child for what you wanted a franchise player to be, it was Reggie White. In the community, man of God, a great leader, the best ever, and he wanted to stay in your city. When he passed away, we went to a memorial service down at the Naval Yards, and his wife said, we did not want to leave Philadelphia, but Norman Brayman did not offer us a contract. So we had to do something. And mind you, the rules back then were a lot different than what they are now. This was before you could franchise tag somebody, all of that kind of stuff. We were just in the beginning stages of free agency, how that worked. All of that stuff got changed based on what happened with Reggie White. That was like the catalyst for a lot of changes. And then the next CBA agreement all of that kind of stuff. It caused a lot of changes in the league. But at the end of the day, Philadelphia had the best defensive player in the NFL, in the history of the NFL. You had arguably the best tackle. People will argue that somebody may have been better, but to even be in that conversation as the best ever, and he didn't want to leave, and y'all let him walk. Saquon Barkley, same situation. He did everything right. He took less money so you could sign Danny Dimes. How'd that work out for you? He was willing to wait and restructure a deal. You never came with nothing. And then you never came with nothing. And then you never came with nothing. So eventually, he got to make a move. And I know people feel some kind of way when you get pro players and they always say that phrase, hey, I got to feed my family. And everybody laughs at that because they're making, 16, 17 million a year. You can't feed your family off of that? Sure he can, but it's the principle of it. I don't care how much money you make. If you see somebody that is not as good as you make more than you, you got a problem. And he wasn't asking for a lot more. He just wanted to be treated fairly. Same thing with Hassan Reddick. And he was right. The problem with Hassan Reddick was the age wasn't on his side. I thought he deserved it because he was another one. Surpassed expectations every year he played. Great in the community. From here, from the Philadelphia area. Y'all know my motto, keep your homeboys at home. But Howie Roseman doing business. He made the deal with the Jets. And he can't even get in camp. And that's the other situation that I saw this week. Hassan Reddick has his football camp this week. And I say that because when everybody was talking about Saquon Barkley, when the whole thing with Tiki Barber was popping off, Tiki Barber was saying what he was saying. And Barber was salty, and he probably went a little bit overboard. When I heard what Tiki said, I didn't think too much of it. But here's how that plays out. And anybody with a best friend knows what I'm talking about. When you got a best friend or a best girlfriend, you joke around about a lot of shit. But you know what line not to cross. If you if they one of your boys, if they one of your been down with them since y'all was 2 years old or whatever, that type of people, that type of relationship, y'all been boys since y'all was neighbors, since y'all was born 2 days apart and been best friends ever. That type of relationship. That's been your girlfriend since the 4th grade, and that type of relationship. You know what lines not to cross. And in my opinion, when I heard what Tiki said, and yes, I thought it was kind of tongue-in-cheek, but sometimes you just don't make jokes at the wrong time because it don't come off the way you intended to. And I think that's exactly what happened. And Saquon Barkley took it some kind of way. Because mind you, this is somebody that had given his heart and soul and body to the New York Giants. And they basically said, F you. We good. Holler at you later. Good luck. And you don't just cut off somebody. He still got relationships. And this is how I'm bringing it together with Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick had a football camp. Saquon Barkley still having football camps in New York. You don't just cut somebody off, sit him to another team. All those relationships that he had in that city with those people, they don't just die. You still got to come back and you got to look them people in the face that you left and now you playing for the enemy. You still got to go up there and hold a football camp. Hassan Reddick plays for the Jets now. He got to come down. He in Camden having a football camp this week. Those relationships just don't die. Now you got this whole awkward situation. And hey, that's why you get paid the big bucks. You got to deal with it, but it don't make it fun. You don't want to deal with it. You want everything to be good where you play. Saquon Barkley done been hurt for that team, came back, took less money, took the load of the offense on his shoulders, did what he could. They didn't give him no help, and he was still balling out. Because you already know when we played the Giants, when Saquon was up there, your job is to stop Saquon Barkley. If you can stop 26, can't nobody else beat you. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. You shut him down, and what would happen? You shut him down, and all of a sudden he'd break a long one. Then you shut him down again, and all of a sudden he would break a long one. Keep the chains moving or something like that. He was the key. He did everything the Giants asked him to do, and the Giants still ushered him out the door. Don't let the doorknob hit you, where the good Lord split you. And that's a shame. So I don't blame him for being a little sensitive to what they're saying on sports talk radio. I don't blame him for that. Not when you got to uproot and move. Moving sucks. I don't care if you're a millionaire. Moving sucks. You don't want to do it. Now your girl got to go to a new school. He got kids. Now you got to uproot your kids, and you got to deal with that situations. What happens if she don't like what she is, and now you got stress at home, and you trying to, because change initiates stress. And when you're trying to play this game, you need peace. You got to get it together up here so you can concentrate on that field. It's all correlated, man. It's all related. So I ain't mad at Saquon Barkley whatsoever. And I understand his anger when all of that shit popped off with Tiki Barber. I know he was playing to the crowd and to the audience and stuff like that. But nah, man. I ain't mad at him. Happy birthday, Cheryl Smith. July babies unite. Everybody wish Cheryl a happy birthday. I need to give me some graphics, like I can get some like fireworks going off or something like that. So yeah, man, it's a nasty business, bro. And even when you do what you're supposed to do, they still don't treat you right. Still don't treat you right. Now this situation popped off today. Cam Sutton, Pittsburgh Steelers, suspended 8 games, domestic violence issue. I don't even know what to say to that. It is what it is. It is what it is. I had something on there. I think I'll let it go. Yeah, I read up a little bit on it. It was he turned himself into the police. So it was a domestic violence issue, something going on with the girlfriend or wife, or I don't even know. But it's amazing how guys like this still get in the situations that they're in. You gotta be careful. I'm surprised. Listen, somebody out there needs to start a business where they just go around. My job is to follow you and your pro friends. My job is to follow you everywhere you go. And my job is to videotape everything you do. When you go to the club, when you go out to dinner, everything you do, I'm going to document it. So if anything pops off, I got it on tape. Because that's what these guys need right now. That's what they need. Because people are after the money and they don't care. Because they know the court of public opinion is going to roast you. And the shameful part is it don't matter if you right or wrong. You got to prove that you ain't do nothing. And even if you didn't do anything, people still going to believe what they want to believe. So you got to be careful out there, especially you dealing with girlfriends as opposed to somebody you may have met at the strip club. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. And when you live in that type of lifestyle as a young man and you know, for lack of a better phrase, you get the pick of the litter and, you know, that's the world that you live in. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. Very easy to fall prey to that type of stuff and you stop paying attention. When you stop paying attention, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. When I was doing my crazy stuff, I remember going to strip clubs with guys on the team. And we walk in there, and I'll never forget this. A guy pulled out his credit card and gave it to the girl with the tray, and she left. And I was like, dude, what do you do? Why would you give her? So whatever was going on, they were charging it to him. And I was like, oh, no. I never been about that. Never been. Yeah, that wasn't my lifestyle. I wasn't trying to stunt like that. But some people do. And some people get addicted to that type of lifestyle, and they make mistakes because they get careless. They get careless because when you got money like that, when you're making, 20, 30,000 a week, you get careless because you don't care. You don't care. I remember going to the bank with Randall Cunningham when I made the team and seeing him cash his check. And he was making like 70,000 a week or something goofy. Like it was just, it's crazy. But when you get some people, when they have access to that type of money, some of the things they do is you can lose yourself into that, man. And that's what a lot of these guys are doing, and think they can say anything or do anything to anyone. And now that comes back to haunt them because somebody can jump on social media and put a story up or make up a story, and you stuck. You stuck. Look at what happened to Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin was being nice, and a jealous boyfriend tried to make up some stuff, ended up getting fired from the NFL Network. And it took months before they got that whole thing straightened out. Even when they had it on tape. It was because I remember this, it was a Philadelphia Eagles fan that was in Dallas. Or not Dallas, it was whatever the Super Bowl was. I think it was the year the Eagles was in the Super Bowl. But it was a Philadelphia Eagle fan that had filmed the whole thing because he was just getting Michael Irvin on tape. So he basically filmed the whole interaction. Can you imagine if that dude did not exist? How much trouble Michael Irvin would have had to go on through. Even with that tape, he still had to go through a bunch. It was a shame. And I'm saying all that to say, people will try you. People will try to get what they can get from you. Every chance they get, you got to keep your head on the swivel. Got to keep your head on the swivel. So when I see that stuff with Saquon, it's a nasty business, and folks don't really care about you. They don't care about you. Now we're gonna get into a little bit of WNBA stuff, just a little bit. With the Caitlin Clark. The Caitlin Clark effect. Let's stop pretending. I wish people would stop pretending like, I don't want to say like it doesn't exist because everybody understands what's happening. But it seems to me like a lot of veterans in the league, in the W, are very, very hesitant to just give in to the way the situation is going on. It's funny to me. I don't get it. Especially in the situation, it almost like, and obviously I'm going to use the parallel with the NFL. I'm going to do all my comparisons with the NFL because that's what I know. But it's almost as if the WNBA wants to come in at the, finally they want to come in and be equal to like the NBA. They want to be like everybody else and get paid millions of dollars and all of that kind of stuff. When the reality is, and this has been proven, and they've had this stuff is all on YouTube, and where they've been on Lisa Leslie and Kelsey Plum been on shows, and they've basically been taken to the woodshed because the bottom line is the league has not been making money until Caitlin Clark got there. As a matter of fact, they're not making money now, but they will because of her. But everybody is giving this girl I don't want to say they're giving her a hard time because I don't believe that's the case. They're not targeting her. They're not trying to hurt her. I do not believe that whatsoever. What I do believe is they're going to come after you because you are the number one rookie. And that is a rule of competition. That happened in the NFL. When I made the Eagles, I knew my job was to take somebody else's job. That's what I'm here for. I did all these things, broke records, all-time leading rusher in 1AA history. I did all of that stuff. When I got to the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm the low man on the totem pole. My job is to make them know that I belong on this team, which means somebody has to go. So I got to convince the guys, the coaches on that team, that they need to get rid of somebody that they're paying $700,000 to $800,000 to, because I'm worth more. That's what I got to do. The flip side of that is, you mean to tell me there's a guy that's making $900,000, maybe $1 million a year? He wants to give up his job? Nah. You got to prove it. You got to take your lumps. That's what Caitlin Clark has been doing. That's what Angel Reese has been doing. And the shade talk, the disrespect that's been going on is just hilarious to me. And I said it in a video. I filmed a video about this, specifically about that, about the shade and the stuff some of the vets have been saying. And I was like, has anybody like really taught them how to talk to the media? But then it dawned on me, this is the first time that the WNBA has been in this position. They have never been in the situation where they have had this much visibility. Never. Even in the beginning, when they had really good ratings and stuff like that, it wasn't like this. And I'm saying it like that because the social media aspect didn't exist. You had limited options to go elsewhere. And somewhere along the way, they fell off and kind of tanked. And they've been slowly but surely for the last 20-something years trying to get their nose above water. And now you got somebody on the swim team that's blowing everybody away named Caitlin Clark. Rising tide raises all boats. They've been saying that ad nauseum. But it's true. Everywhere she go, they sell out. And I've said this 3 or 4 times. Without question, A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league, bar none. There is no argument. There is no argument. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the WNBA, period. Full stop. However, I've never seen A'ja Wilson play away and that other team have to move to a bigger arena. Haven't seen that. Haven't seen Sabrina Ionescu play away and that other team need to go to a bigger venue. Diana Taurasi, haven't done it. Kelsey Plum, haven't done it. Kalia Copper, hasn't done it. DeWanna Bonner, hasn't done it. Diana Taurasi, hasn't done it. You name anybody. Cheryl Reeves, the coach of the Lynx, Minnesota, the Olympic coach, hasn't done it. But you got this girl coming from Iowa, and everywhere she go, we got to go from 10,000 to 18,000 because we selling all them tickets, packing all of the houses. Everybody's making money off this girl, and everybody wants to act like, well, she ain't special. Yes, she is. Just admit it. The one thing we used to do in the NFL, and this is a competition thing, she's the visible one. She's got the target on her back because she's the rookie, but she's getting all the fanfare. She's getting all the hype, just like Tiger Woods, just like Danica Patrick, just like Tim Tebow. Everybody. Dale Earnhardt Jr. They got to earn their stripes, and that's okay. But you got to recognize what she's doing. And it seems like to get some of these vets to just acknowledge what this girl has done is like pulling freaking teeth. Like pulling teeth. Like, come on now. Stop acting like you're not seeing it. The girl averaging 16.5? What's her stats looking like? Like she's above and beyond what people expected out of her. Way above it. So you gotta give her props. And it seems like the thing that got me talking about this was Brianna Stewart mentioned, she gave in her she was on somebody's podcast, and she said, yeah, the thing she's doing with attendance. So you just gonna totally dismiss what she doing on the court. This is all about, well, she bringing more people to the game, so that's nice. That's how it came across. I know she probably meant something else, but what these women are saying, the optics of it looks bad. Sabrina Ionescu, and I felt bad for this because Sabrina Ionescu is one of my favorite players, period. She is in my top 5 list. I love watching her play. But she was like, yeah, Indiana they beat us. This is like their Super Bowl. I'm like, no, it ain't. Las Vegas is the Super Bowl. They the champs. Y'all not Indiana and New York is not a rivalry. It's not like Philadelphia and the Cowboys. That's not what you would say. It's not their Super Bowl. Y'all just happen to have the best record in the league, and they got you. At home, they got you. So you chalk it up like, yeah, they got us one. It's 3-1. We still ahead, but we'll be ready for them next time. That's all you got to say. Keep it moving. Give them their props. They got one in on us. We were sleeping. We ain't played well in the fourth. They got us, and they came in here and stole one. We'll get them next time. Done. But they got to beat around the bush, give all these backhanded compliments, and like, man, it's so easy to just say, hey, the girl's playing good right now, and they caught us slipping. We had chances to win. They took advantage of their opportunities, and we didn't. Do the coach speak. Everybody can do that. Make it generic, make it short, and just keep it moving. Stop with the trying to find a way to, I gotta pay her a compliment, but I don't mean it. And that's what it looks like. That's what the optics are. And it's a bad look on the WNBA because it does make them look catty and it looks high school, if you ask me. Just say the girl's good. Keep it moving. Yeah, I'd have more respect if they just like, all right, yeah, she got me, but I'm gonna shut her down. If they went at her, like, all right, next time I get her, I'm gonna teach her a lesson. I'm gonna shut her down. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Whatever. That way you can back it up on the court. They don't even do that. I don't mind you talking smack because at the end of the day, you got to back it up on the court. Period. You got to get it done on the court. So it is what it is. Sunshine, who's not the greatest? Caitlin Clark or Ionescu? Who are you talking about? I don't even think I think rivalry is the wrong thing to say, but I understand it because this is the WNBA's Bird Magic moment. The only difference is they play different positions, but so did Bird and Magic. Bird was a forward, Magic was a point. So the analogy is correct. Angel Reese is playing down low on the blocks. Caitlin Clark is a guard bringing the ball up the court. So the analogy is correct. And it seems like now, this past week when she got her triple-double, mind you, it should have been her second triple-double, not her first. Not her first. She got screwed out of trip. She needed I think she needed 2 assists a couple games ago. Can't remember if it was 2 assists or 2 rebounds. And She didn't get them. That would have been her first triple-double. So she should have 2 triple-doubles. And I know there was another game where she was in the vicinity. She ended up getting a double-double, but she was in the vicinity. Yeah, it's Sunshine. I'm with 100%. It's not a rival. It's not a Indiana and Chicago are not rivals because you know why? They both at the bottom of the barrel. They're not. That would be like saying the Redskins or the Commanders are rivals of the Chiefs. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So, yeah, they just don't pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And I think they're doing themselves a disservice. And like I was saying, now you're starting to hear some more complimentary comments. Now they're doing a little bit better. And it's like, why couldn't y'all just do that in the first place? Why was that so hard? You know what I'm saying? Why was that so hard? Just to get a girl the props, man. She's 16, 6, and 7. And she getting full court press damn near the whole game. And she's still putting up 16 points a game. What you want? Just get a girl her props and keep it moving. The other part of this problem, in my opinion, is the refs are just so bad in the W. I don't know what the hell that is, but the refs are god awful. I don't understand what they doing with these refs, but it's a shame. Look at this. This was so here was a triple double, 19 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists, right? The game before that, she had a double-double, points and assists. Now, this is the game against Phoenix. 15, 9, and 12. All she needed was one more rebound, and she could have got the first triple-double then. So she should have 2 triple-doubles. I don't know what Christy Sides put her on the bench. At least give her that opportunity. Or let her know. You can have somebody whisper in her, hey, I need you to do another rebound. People do that all the time. Then you got, what was the other game? The 16th, Chicago. When they beat Chicago, she was 23, 8, and 9. 23, 8, 9. And then when they went to DC, she was 18, 12, and 6. And she was weak on the assists. So she could have had 2 or 3 more triple doubles if she'd have put her mind to. But I think she just, kind of finding herself, doing what she do. They played Connecticut. She only played 22 minutes. Why is she only playing 22 minutes when she been above 30 the whole year? 38 and 6 when she lit up Washington. 30 points. She done had 30 points twice, right? Yep. She had 2 30-point games. She wasn't close to a triple. Here she was against LA. They won in LA. 11 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 assists away. So she had a couple of opportunities to get some trips, and it just didn't work out that way. Just didn't work out. Cheryl, she is proving herself. That's my point. She is proving herself. And I don't understand why all of these vets why it's like pulling teeth for them to just say, hey, the girl is playing well. They have just now started doing that. I don't know why it took so long. It doesn't make any sense. You can say that, yeah, the girl is playing good, but when she come play us at home, I'm going to bust her behind. You can say that and go at her. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's in the spirit of competition. All fair. But it's like, what did they say? It was I'm sure you guys have heard it or seen it somewhere where they say, if you ask somebody a question and they look up to the left or up to the right, I can't remember what it was. If they look up and to the right, they're thinking of something. If they look up and to the left, they're trying to find a memory. So when you see these girls, when you see these women trying to answer questions and they looking up, they're trying to think of something to say, and it's like it's not that complicated. Just say the girl is playing well and keep it moving. And it is like pulling teeth for them to get a girl a damn compliment. I was so happy when Diana Taurasi just kept it 100. Yeah, what she's doing is great. I wish somebody would just come out and say, look, Caitlin Clark is about to get us all paid. Let's be real with the situation. That profile is growing because of Caitlin Clark, and because it's growing, that media rights deal that they're going to sign with this new CBA is what is going to get them paid. I wouldn't go as far as Charles Barkley and some of the stuff that he was saying, but he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. So they just just stick with it and just, do what you got to do, say what you got to say, and keep it moving. You've been vets. If you've been in the league for over 3 years, you should know how to interact with the media. But like I said before, they have never had eyes on them like this. And when you finally get the visibility that you crave, you got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the bullshit that comes with this. The same thing I was talking about with the Eagles. People on the outside looking in got something to say, and they're not around the team. They ain't watching the games. It is quite clear that everybody commenting on this stuff is not watching the games. And that's the one thing I at least take pride in. I'm watching the games, and I'm doing my homework. I'm doing my homework. I'm not trying to speak out of turn on this stuff. And then you got a contingency of people that every little thing that somebody says, they blow away out of proportion. I didn't see more videos talking about disrespect and just all kind of negative stuff, just trying to build the, get the clickbait and stuff like that. This man, just keep it 100. Keep it 100, man. Plenty of content available. So, but they are Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Rakea Jackson, Alyssa Pili. I don't even know what happened to the girl from Atlanta, Nardia Pouch. She was Australian, 19-year-old basketball player. Atlanta picked her in the first round. I have not seen her on the court yet. Now, I don't know if she's going to come on the team after the Olympics. I don't know what's going to happen. I have not seen her. I don't know what's going on with her. So, Kaylin, Angel, Asia. And you already heard what I said about Asia. She's the best in the business. Point, period, in the paragraph. But she is not. She is not the most popular, and that's okay. That's just the way it worked out for her. She's still gonna get hers though, and her profile is rising because of Caitlin Clark. And again, they don't want to give her props. But let me go back to this tweet I had the other day when we was talking about the All-Star vote. The All-Star voting. I saw them numbers and I was like, you got to be kidding me. No, I can't find it. Come on. There we go. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. The lowest person is De'Erica Hamby with 97,000 votes. She's ranked number 10th in the All-Star votes. Her lowest ranking is more than twice what Asia Wilson got last year. Now, who's gonna claim responsibility for this uptick in voting? Now, this is a situation where there is no argument. None. There is no argument. Stop it. This is the Caitlin Clark effect manifest. And people will still try to, well, our crowds have been growing. I'm like, stop it. Your crowds ain't been growing 6 times normal. Stop playing. This girl is getting everybody paid, and she about to get everybody a higher salary. Quit your bitching, quit screwing with the money, and let this girl do what she do. Every time she hit a damn logo 3, the profile goes up even more. You know she's gonna be on Sports Center in the morning. That's what I saw. It's like she the new dunk, just like Steph Curry. Everybody wanted to see Steph hit them shots from, in the locker room, and that's exactly what he was doing. That became the new dunk. We done seen all the dunks before. I haven't seen somebody hit a three-pointer looking the wrong way. That's what Steph Curry was doing. Now you got Caitlin Clark shooting threes at a consistent rate from the damn logo and hitting them. People want to see that. And she kept doing it. And she kept doing it. And she kept doing it. Well, maybe she pretty good and that ain't lucky. Then Angel Reese come on the scene. Well, she gonna struggle because she playing with other bigs. Well, she got lucky because she got a double-double. Well, she got lucky because she got another double-double. Then she got another one. And then she got another one. And then she got another one. And now she at 13. Breaking records. Oh, she ain't as good as Candace Parker. Hold my beer. It's amazing what happens when you let them play. That way, there's no misunderstanding. You can see what you want to see. If they suck, they suck. Because I tell you what, if she was playing bad, they'd be the first person to tell her, like, I told you, it's just going to take some time, and she needs some grace, and all them other adjectives they want to throw in there. Nah, that girl is averaging a double-double and is leading the league in rebounds. Bet you didn't see that coming. Caitlin Clark is getting triples. Bet you didn't see that coming. She averaging 16. She playing 35 minutes a game. Bet you didn't see that coming. She going back and forth with in her rankings. With she been like 14, 15, 16. Diana Taurasi been 16, 15, 14. And they've been going back and forth like that. So how many other people in the league want that stat line? 16, 6, and 7. How many vets have got that stat line? Not many. There's not 20 other people in the league that got that stat line because she's ranked 16th in the league. So she's doing what she got to do. But instead of people giving her props, she's doing good for attendance. Like, stop playing. You can do Bow, I don't mind dated, bro. But sometimes you gotta look with your eyes. You gotta watch the game. Numbers don't lie, but they are deceiving. They are deceiving. Stats can lead you down a different path. So you got to be careful with that. But at the end of the day, it's like, hey, man, get a girl her props. Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Yes. 100%. All-star votes, man. She bringing in the numbers. Man. What's going to happen? And here's the thing. And I'll end with this. The Rookie of the Year race. Right now, and I said this a couple days ago, when Angel Reese tied Candace Parker for the record. Now she's broken the record. So I said, Angel Reese is a little bit ahead of Caitlin Clark in the Rookie of the Year race. Because in my opinion, Angel Reese has been a little bit more consistent. Now everybody's like, oh, the double-double is a made-up stat. And I'm like, no, it ain't. They used to talk about that shit in the NBA all the time. That's a good stat. Now all of a sudden it don't mean nothing because a woman's doing it. Come on, get out of here. Jason Whitlock and all them other idiots talking about. Stop it. That's not a made-up stat. That girl is banging on the blocks, getting it done, and scoring points. So you saying 27 and 13 was made up? She lucked up into that? And everybody talking about she missing her own shots and getting her own rebounds. You try to do that. You put up a shot and then go up and try to get your own rebound. See how easy it is. You think everybody just standing around looking? No, that's a skill. I bet you wouldn't tell Dennis Rodman that. Speaking of which, go back and look at my video when I said Angel Reese should become the WNBA's version of Dennis Rodman because she's not the best jumper in the world. She don't have the prettiest looking shot, but what she does is out hustle people for them rebounds and finds a way to get the ball in the bucket. Period. They guarding Caitlin Clark 94 feet all the way down the court. All she does is find a way to put the ball in the bucket or get it to somebody who can. Because she's tops in the league with assists. The only way you can get an assist is that whoever you pass it to, they got to score. Wendy, you can compare the two. I disagree. You can compare the two. I know it's different positions. They're not going to be in a one-on-one situation. That was the point I was trying to make earlier. You may not have heard. That's the point I was trying to make earlier with Bird and Magic. Bird is a forward. Magic is a point guard. Just like Caitlin and Angel. But they still, you got to look at it comparatively to what is this rookie doing compared to this rookie. I know they play different positions, but let's get real. Let's keep it 100. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expected Angel Reese to perform like she's performing right now. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody thought Caitlin Clark, they wanted her to be, but nobody that follows basketball and nobody that knows the sport, nobody thought Caitlin Clark would be able to be this good, this early. You knew she would get there, and she's not finished her ascension yet. But you didn't think she was going to be this good this early. She needs grace. It's going to take some time. She's not going to come in firing up 25 shots, and, well, she don't need all that. She's getting other people involved, and she's making it work, and she's feeling her way out, and she's taking her lumps and feeling her way through the system and through the league. And every other game she plays, she gets more and more comfortable. And you can tell in her play. There's some things she got to tighten up. I still think she turns the ball over too much. Yes, a lot of those are drop passes, but it's on her stat line, so it is what it is. And I think she needs a mid-range shot. Those are observable criticisms. I'm not the only one that said it. Other than that, the girl has been above. She has been as advertised. How many times has that happened for a rookie? When's the last time that happened in WNBA? Candace Parker. And they set up for the next 5 years. Kate Beckers, Flau'jae Johnson, Lauren Betts, Juju Watkins, Hannah Hidalgo, Malaysia Fulwiley, Tessa Johnson. They set up for the next 5 years. Oh, yeah. And that girl that just signed with Duke, the freshman from Canada, the 14-year-old, or I guess 16-year-old now, that was dunking with two hands when she was 15. Toby Fournier. She'll be at Duke next year. Give her 4 years. She'll be coming out and lighting up the W. They in a good spot. So whoever wins it, the rookie of the year for the WNBA is going to come down to who plays the best coming off of this 4-week break. That is imperative. 4 weeks is a long time. Your blade gets dull. And honestly, because of that break, me personally, I'm giving the edge to Caitlin Clark. We still got to see it on the court. But I'm giving the edge to Caitlin Clark. And I'm saying this because her work ethic. Angel Reese, she got an opportunity. She's the influencer. She's the fashionista. So she's going to have opportunities to go places and see some things and do that. And just from what I've seen from both of them, Caitlin Clark is the one that puts in a little bit more work than Angel Reese. Not saying that Angel Reese don't put in work, because she does. But if I'm going to compare the two, Caitlin Clark gets it in. And Angel Reese is going to have the opportunity to exercise a little bit more of her celebrity. You just talking in two different vacuums here. So we'll see. Long break, 4 weeks. Got to come back. They play at the end of August. Shit, we'll be in NFL then. We'll be knee deep in camp. I'd love to know NBA or WNBA Rookie of the Year history. Yeah. I mean, I don't think, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, Kevin. But what I got to look at is what is the impact that she's having on her team. That's how I look at it. You can say the rebounds don't really matter, but if because she's getting rebounds, if that means on average they get 10 more possessions a game, she's responsible for that. Because what happens if she didn't get the rebounds? Who would get them? Let's say half of them would still go to Chicago, the other half wouldn't. That makes a difference. So you got to break down those those stats. And that's when you really get into the weeds. Ooh, I'm out of water. So it'll be fun, man, and it'll be fun to see who's ready to work when this break is over with. When did a guard ever win Rookie of the Year or MVP? I'm almost positive there's been a guard to win MVP of the W. Past MVPs of WNBA. Oh, there you go. Diana Taurasi, Lisa Leslie, Maya Moore, Katie Smith, Candace Parker, Tamika Catchings, Nika Agumuke, Yolanda Griffith. Taurasi's a guard. Simone Augustus she's a guard. Simone Augustus is a guard. Nika, I believe, is a forward. Yolanda Griffith, I think, is a guard. Not sure. Diana Taurasi, Tamika Catchings, forward. Cynthia Cooper. Cynthia Cooper was a guard. Maya Moore, was she a guard? She was a forward. Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops. Cheryl Swoops was a guard, but I don't think she won the MVP, though. Oh, yes, she did. 3-time MVP. Okay, Swoops was a guard. Lauren Jackson, Sue Bird. Sue Bird was a guard. Was she an MVP, though? No. She was not an MVP. Candace Parker, obvious. Sylvia Foles, nope. She's a center. Della Don, she's a guard. Did she get an MVP? 2-time MVP, Elena Della Don. Stewie, Yolanda Griffith, center forward. Simone Augustus, guard/forward. Finals MVP. Not a league MVP. Tina Thompson, she's a forward. Katie Smith, guard. Another finals MVP. So you got a couple of them. Lindsay Whalen, is she MVP? 4 championships, 3rd all-time assist, 3-time champion. Assist champion. She is not a league MVP. So you got a few guards in there. You're not wrong, Kevin. You're not wrong. But I still think it's an impact thing in my opinion. It's an impact thing. So you got Warren, we got some guards and we got some in there. So it's been established. It's happened a couple times. But listen, I don't have no problem saying Angel Reese is in the lead right now because of what she's been doing on a consistent level. Because if it was that easy to do, and if it didn't matter, anybody would be doing it. And that's not the case. That is not the case. Because everybody ain't getting double-doubles for it to be that easy. So, props to Angel Reese. She putting it down, and she has been consistent. 13 games. Come on. If you said she had a streak of 5 games where she got 5 straight double-doubles, you'd have been like, yo, that's a good run. 13 y'all better stop playing. Get a girl her props just like you give Caitlin Clark the props. They both are doing it. And nobody expected neither one of them to be this good. Nobody expected Rickea Jackson to be this good. The only difference between Angel and Caitlin and Rickea is Angel and Caitlin are playing 30-plus minutes. Rickea Jackson is only averaging 25.1 minutes a game. Angel Reese is averaging 31. Caitlin Clark is averaging 36. So that's the extra almost 10 minutes of game time you got to do work. The biggest reason why Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are so far above and beyond everybody else is because they're getting more playing time than anybody else. Even Cameron Brink, when she was in the picture, in the mix, she was putting quality time in for the time that she got. But when you're only playing like 20, 25 minutes a game, you can only do so much. So that's why Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are so far ahead. There's been, 2 or 3 games where Caitlin Clark has played, let me see. Against Phoenix, she played 39 minutes. Against Chicago, 40 minutes. 37, 39 minutes. Against Washington, when she put up 30. 37 minutes against Chicago. 40 minutes against Seattle. 37 minutes against LA. She's had plenty of times where she's played almost the whole game. So, I think Ryan Howard is a is she a guard? I think Ryan Howard is a forward. If I'm not wrong, I could be wrong. Let me see. Defensive leaders. Stats. Player. Yeah, I think she's a forward. I can find out. Hold on. Okay, Ryan Howard is a guard. She's a guard. She's a 6'2" guard. Damn. Okay. You're right. She is a guard. I thought she was a forward. My bad. And she's 15, 4, and 3. 15.4, 4.5 rebounds, and 3.4 assists with 2.2 steals a game. And she's hurt right now. But that's good info, Warren. Appreciate that. There's an indirect correlation, but I wonder if there's a direct correlation between Cardoso coming off the injury and occupying every team's biggest defender. Absolutely. Absolutely. The one thing that Chicago has going for them is Teresa Weatherspoon knows how to coach, and she knows how to use her personnel. Can't really say that with Indiana. Christy Sides be struggling sometimes. But Teresa Weatherspoon has got that team clicking. The best player on their team is Kennedy Carter. If it wasn't for the incident, if it wasn't for the hip check to Caitlin Clark, she would probably be on the All-Star team because she deserves to be on it. Shit, she deserves to be on the Olympic team the way she's playing. So, but yeah, that's a good point. Cardoso makes people change their shots, and Cardoso can jump a little bit. Most of the time, women that big don't have a big vertical because they used to be in. You got big girls disease. You used to being the biggest woman on the court, so you don't have to jump that much. You don't have to do it. So, but yeah, man. So I'm about to get up out of here and shut it down. It's a little 9:38. So yeah, we've been rolling pretty good, man. It was fun to do this, man, just to talk about whatever. Talk about my birds, talk about a little NFL, talk about WNBA. We keep it moving. Warren, man, listen. Brother, you preaching to the choir. Warren, you got to join some of my live streams, man. We talk about that ad nauseum sometimes because it's almost like a running joke on my live streams. When I live stream the games, I do play-by-play on the games, and it's almost a running joke every time Erica Wheeler gets in the game. Because it's like, oh, here we go. We waiting for a turnover to happen. And I don't understand. She was just stuck on making sure that Erica Wheeler was coming in for either Caitlin Clark or Kelsey Mitchell, your two best scorers. And I'm a different type of coach. I go with the hot hand. Whoever is hot right now, you keep them in the game. And she was stuck on these substitutions. It's like she had to get Wallace in there. She had to get Erica Wheeler in there. And last time was the first time where she messed with the transition or the substitutions. Even Dantas played some minutes. Hit a three. She did look out of shape though. So yeah, Warren, you preaching to the choir, bro. Yeah, we threw them jokes out there, Kel. So yeah, man, it's a lot to it. And Warren, the one thing I will say is when they were getting blasted, when Indiana was getting blasted, losing, Christy Size deserves all the blame. But the flip side of that is you got to give her some of the credit too in some of them wins. Because some of those losses, they lost a couple close games and it wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault. Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell missing open layups. Kelsey Mitchell she is sometimes too fast for her own good. And she can't, she's got too much heat on the ball. And I just think, although Aaliyah Boston has been doing a much better job the last 2-3 games, but I had a real big problem with how she was pulling down rebounds. At 6'5", you're supposed to be going up and nobody should be challenging you for a rebound. And she just don't play with that. She don't play with that type of attitude, in my opinion. She's been better the last couple of the games. She's been a lot more for that last game in New York. She was a lot more physical than I had seen her. She was giving Jonquel Jones a run for her money. And Jonquel Jones is another one of my favorite players. So she's getting better. And again, let's hope they can keep this momentum up after this long-ass break, because it is a long-ass break, man. Woof. So we'll see what's going to happen, man. But listen, I appreciate everybody in this chat tonight. Warren, I'll give you props, man. I appreciate you. First time I seen you in the chat. Yeah. Her footwork did look a lot better. But appreciate you being in the chat, bro. Appreciate your opinion. Wendy, always looking for more female voices. I got 2 sisters, so I got to represent. So tell your friends about me. But I appreciate you being in the chat. Cheryl Smith, as usual. Bow 316, as usual. Sunshine, first time see you in the chat. Please, please, please don't be a stranger. Appreciate your opinions and your voice. Kevin, as usual. Chris Bruce, Cody K. Appreciate you guys, man. We had a good time tonight. I had fun just talking about everything. Everything. Pro Fan Talk back in the building. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, because let me check the schedule. Tomorrow is the 9th. So tomorrow. All right. So tomorrow, Minnesota and LA. Oh, that was a game? Oh, no. Tomorrow, Minnesota and LA at 10 p.m. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Wednesday. Oh, damn. Wednesday is 11 a.m. and 12 noon. Mystics play Indiana. I'm not going to be able to stream that game because I'll be at work. They're doing a lot of these early games this week. Friday, I might be able to do Phoenix and Indiana. Phoenix is going to be looking to get some payback, so that should be a good game. Friday is my birthday, so I don't know what's going to be going on. So, but I'm going to play that by ear. But don't forget, Wednesday, 8 p.m., Barrett Brooks. If you don't know who Barrett Brooks is, let me show you. Good friend of mine, played with the Eagles, won a Super Bowl with the Steelers. So Barrett Brooks will be on with me 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Hope you guys can be there. We always have a good time. just talking football and what's going on. So that should be fun. So come back Wednesday. I'll probably be doing some more streaming tomorrow. It'll probably be like this, just another show, 8 p.m. On various issues. But on Wednesday, we'll probably talk mostly Eagle stuff. But you know me, I'm gonna bring up some WNBA stuff. We'll see where his head's at, but we're gonna have some fun. So hope to see you guys then. I appreciate you jumping in the chat. It was fire tonight. I like the conversation, man. I like everybody getting involved, man. We're gonna do this again. So come back, same back time, same back channel tomorrow, 8 p.m. I will be here, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right. Appreciate you. Be safe. God bless. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.